Hello, Eveline, and this is Kakalasanari. We are gonna talk a little bit about the front lines, as I like to talk about the front lines in the faction warfare on the Caldari-Gallente side. First, I'll gonna do something real quick. Gonna put this on autopilot. Um, so I want to make a video today about let's just say you're a new player and you want to join the faction warfare and you don't know exactly where to join, especially on the Caldari-Gallente faction warfare zone because there are so many more systems. And yeah, so there's a couple of like uh, front lines where you can join or be at. Um, I know that a lot of people use the interstellar shipcaster, but I will rather just choose to be in one of the front lines instead of randomly being assessed to one of those, because I like to just analyze or what people are in that front line or what to do, what they counter, what that's their strategy, what to expect, and just general familiarity with the um, systems that you're in. Yeah, so obviously, in order to do faction warfare, you'll need to join faction warfare, and you can do that by um, finding the faction warfare icon, and you just click on it, and then you'll have here where you can join. At the moment, I'm enrolled in the Amar militia, but you can switch up and later, and if you have the standing, you can join any other faction. Also, you can join pirates. We're gonna talk about the Caldari side. Caldari-Gallente also true, because we're gonna talk from the maybe a little more like neutral, what I actually saw in those different constellations, or what type of people are there, and how is their playstyle in every front line. So there are a couple of front lines that are active at the moment. We're going to talk about the one that are active, that you can actually do activities, faction warfare activities. And yeah, we're going to talk with the first one, and I'm going to rank them or talk about from. I'm gonna give them a ranking on what is the my recommendation of joining those particular constellations and being there, and how difficult it is to operate there. So the first one is the Pegular, and why did I just quit? This is this constellation right here, which is Reneral, Moklimanod, Ugalis, Ferrari, and Albinal. And this permanent Gallente system, but it's not part of the front line. But that's the constellation, and it's basically what I observe in that, because let me just put out the notes on the side, so I can actually just talk about it, because I made a couple of notes on what I saw and what the people are flying there, or what is that all about. I observed that it's no longer like just people farming there. It is actually became a predatory economy. The Guristas are there. There's a lot of game camps in Albinal, sometimes in Reneral too. Pirates are roaming and search and destroy type of operations. They use ships like Malediction, or Stiletto. Um, Obviously, these are the corporations like Paytos Syndicate or Scumrat. And so what they do is just they basically um, finding you in those sites, in those advanced sites, and they will point you, they will orbit you, and the enforcements will come, and you are hopelessly, you know, waiting to get killed. And then we got the, another strategy that they're using is, they will just get a bait to in like a Punisher or some other baits with a lot of EHP, 20,000 EHP, and you start shooting that, you getting focused on that, and then the reinforcement come and they will overwhelm you. And bait and smash strategies. Also here, popular are the navy issues, Gallente ships like Executor Navy issue, Catalyst Navy issue, and yeah, there's a lot of gangs there. It's difficult. If I have also a recommendation, I have noted here is the Caracal Navy issue. Um, it is good against whatever they're flying, small ships. Also, Osprey Navy issue. It's basically if you're in the site, it's like a stand and fight type of ship. Also, it's pretty good against the nimble ships as well. They're trying to, yeah, disrupt you. Now, this is an alright. It was like the beginner type of constellation, but it's starting to not be anymore. So yeah, because they're just gate camps, a lot of search and destroy, and yeah, it's, like I said, a predatory economy. All right, I'm gonna talk also about this constellation, which is not that much at the moment, or not that many faction warfare sites, but I'm gonna talk that this is like a dead zone. You should not be here, even if it's their faction warfare, because this is, if you're a new player, definitely not, because I mean, there's like alliances here, they're mercenaries, they're like, it is, and they like to use, Cormorant Navy issues with a sniper doctrine. So you basically just, you're trying to get into a site. They're in the site, they're waiting at like a big distance, and they're all shooting you from that distance. You're just gonna die. Obviously, if I have to recommend a ship, that would be like the Wolf. Yeah, not much, things to do right now in this particular constellation. What is this constellation even called? Amevik, yeah. But yeah, a lot of initiative here is camping the gate to their alliance entrance. I mean, I can go on and on. This the pods are not safe. There's a lot of uh, um, smart bombing, and not even smart bombing. There's it's just absolute dangerous, super dangerous constellation, and a lot of strong pilots, elite pilots. Now, I'm gonna talk about. I didn't make any notes about this constellation, but at the moment, this constellation is on fire. Because there's an insurgency at the moment in Merco Sierra, and so there'll be pirates here. Also, there's like a big push from the Caldari into this constellation. There's like a lot of ships being destroyed here, but there's also like So this is probably a good place to be. There's a lot of action going on here, but there's also a couple of very strong pilots that are just very good in 1 versus 1, and they can get you um, very easily. Yeah, that's. I mean, I probably should say more about this constellation, but I think if I have to recommend, it's you want to be like in action. I think this constellation is definitely the place for you. This is a good constellation. I don't know if it's necessarily the best constellation for a new player, but it is a good constellation at least to fight. And all right, let me see where I made some more notes. Yeah, yeah. About this constellation, there's just those 4 systems, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about those. It's the most difficult. It's not that you're is super dangerous. It's not like super dangerous. It's just those guys are super professionals. Um, they have the right ships, so they have the right ships there. If they ever getting killed, you getting countered. They have the right configuration. Um, they're they're super organized. They're just the most professionals, and you shouldn't be in this constellation. And this 4 systems: Abune, Hygelis, Fleet, and Davin. Uh, those are absolute killers. Those are the most. Um, it's just, for example, because they're flying the right ships in the right. For example, if there's like a scout, they'll have the best frigate, and they'll have frigate with freaking abyssal rolled items and with billion pods, billion um, isk pods. So it's it's just not. All right, if you're a new player, you shouldn't be in those four systems. All right, and I'm gonna talk about this constellation, which I think this is the most friendliest one, where I think you can in Iswa, for example, you can just install a clone here or make your home station or whatever. You can spawn there. This is definitely a constellation that you want to be. There's a lot of academies here, new players, but you know it could be sometimes difficult because those people are in fleets. But yeah, this is the constellation that you want to be in, Oinasik and yeah, and those, up to here, not Tama, but yeah, um, they're just using Imperial Navy slicers or uh, yeah, just simple ships, but you still need to be careful. If this is the most recommended frontline that I'm um, this is the best or the most recommended frontline that I'm giving to new players. Um, that's where I think you should be if you're a new player. You want to be like in the second frontline. Um, it's just a little hard to get there, or to get goods there. But other than that, because they're also not even like something to jump to. And the last is the SOA, and I made a couple notes here, and it's basically I'm gonna just say it out loud on what I wrote. It's that SOA success isn't about how much ISK you can spend. It's about how efficient you can trade blows and how fast you can reship when you inevitable die. So in this zone, you should never fly anything more than a cruiser because you're gonna get hunt down. There's a lot of activities, a lot of players here, um, and good players. So this is like second tier. Like this is the most difficult. This is the second most difficult zone where you can be as a new player. Now because there's also like pirates, and not even aligned pilots. They're just pilots. They're just shooting because they think they own the system, and not even talking about the gate camps in Tama and the multiple multi-boxers that they're there, and the fleets that they can, or fights they usually take 3 versus 1 type of thing. And uh, yeah, this is not a place where you want to be. There's a lot of destruction in this system. I think the most destruction happened in this system, uh, or this constellation rather. And yeah, um, I haven't talked. Yeah, I made a couple of notes about a couple of players who are total specialists or professionals. That it's gonna be Christopher Stanford, Mr. Chubby, and X7000. So if you see those those pilots in this area or this area, you shouldn't fight them. So yeah, that'll be it. I'll do a little recap. So the place where you want to be as a new player is probably in Oyasikin. The second is this Pegular, or I think this depends. I mean, they're close. They're both, second, third, or third, second, and the least places that you want to be is, well, at the moment here is not much faction warfare going on, but you definitely don't want to be in this. Those are, a lot of mercenaries in that constellation. Then the second least is here, and definitely not no go is here. Okay, and those 4 systems, this is like an end game type of thing. Also battlefields here are super difficult because they just bring logistics. um, yeah, and the strategy usually just relies if how fast you can just alpha their logistic or ECM, but rarely people bring ECM to you know destroy their logistics or disrupt their logistics. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe and let me know what you think. Bye.